Hello and welcome to the We Are the Girls in Claret and Blue podcast. It's great to be back on American Hammer's YouTube channel. First of all, I'd just like to thank everybody that's contacted me recently about the passing of my father. It was greatly appreciated, and I'm sorry if I didn't message back. It was just difficult at the time, obviously. However, today we're joined by, Ali's changed quite a bit, turned into an old man called Alan. So welcome, Alan. Tonight we're going to discuss now the season's ended. We'll discuss that decision by the FA to end the season. We're not sure what else is going to go on, whether it's going to be null and voided or anything. That's still to be voted on. And also we're going to have a few awards to give some of the players this season. Women's Hammer of the Year, Best Young Player, Best Signing of the Season, and then just for a laugh, we're going to have the Best Chant of the Season. But if you've seen our Twitter, Alan did nominate himself, so we'll leave that for later on the show. Alan, what did you make of the FA's decision to cancel the season?
Yeah, it's the right decision, just a little bit tardy. I mean, they could have done it 2 months ago. Stop everyone being in limbo. They could have contacted all the clubs and said, "This is it." We aren't going. But they trod. Cut that bit out. They trod water over it for 2 months and then came out with the decision that we suggested 2 months ago. Well, I think I just repeated myself there, but yeah, it's the right decision. We can right say, okay, I'm not sure whether any of the stats for this season are going to count though, like goal scorers.
That decision is based on what they do with the league, I think, Alan. To say they null and void it. So for the team I work for, Barking, they've completely expunged all the results, and nothing counts. No one goes up, no one goes down, and it'll just restart again in August. So I think with that, the stats gets taken away, and they basically just act like the season never existed. Yeah. So when the clubs have their vote, so if the FAWSL clubs decide to cancel the season, I think the stats will then get expunged. But if they go to points per game, I think they will let the players keep their record because there's still been a final result from that season.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But so do you think they ought to do the points per game or just wipe the slate and start again?
See, the trouble is, I think the reason I think the league are going to push to null and void it is because one of the clubs that have gone down, yes, they've never spent a lot of money on their women's team, but they're quite a powerhouse in football, Liverpool. So they could, by right, start a legal case up, which has happened in like France and stuff, if they relegate them. But if they null and void it, they've then got the same problem with Chelsea. So what I think they're going to do, or Man City, I think they're going to go to points per game, give Chelsea the title, but don't relegate Liverpool. And then I think they're going to promote the two from the Championship back up. I think Sheffield United and Aston Villa will be part of the league next year, and they'll just make it a 14-team league.
Yeah, I mean, I think the league needs to have more teams in it anyway. I mean, 12 teams in a league is a bit small, isn't it? But I'm not sure about promoting 2 teams. It's like takes ages to get there. Can't they promote some London clubs so we don't have to travel so far?
Ain't as easy as that, mate, unfortunately.
Like Crystal Palace and Charlton or something, yeah?
I don't even think, Charlton was right near the bottom of the league, so they definitely won't be coming up.
So what happens there? Because if the teams that were below the Championship, the leagues that are below the Championship, they've all been null and voided, haven't they?
Yeah.
So no one can go up. So no one can actually go down from the Championship, I'm presuming.
Yeah, I think that'll be. I think the idea will be to make the Women's Super League bigger.
Yeah.
Make the Championship smaller for one season, and then maybe next year. You know what they did with like West Ham? We applied for a license to go into the FAWSL. I think so they'll let 20 to 21 season have a smaller group in the championship, and then for the 21 to 22, they'll say, look, we want to add another 2 teams, all apply for a license, and whatever we feel is the best suited, we'll let the 2 best offers from teams come in, and I think that's what they'll do.
Yeah, and what about the? I don't know anything about anyone's finances, but I've heard whispers, or not whispers, on the internet about Birmingham might not fulfil their obligation of money, and so they might actually drop out anyway. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I've heard that, but one thing that's been rumoured about in the league is in one league, a club before this already happened, already asked their league if they could be relegated to protect the club.
Oh, right.
So I think if Birmingham are in that much of a bad situation, they may say we're willing to drop down to the Championship because we haven't got the funds to be in this league professional anymore. So that's maybe what they'll do. But I think that's a bit of a tricky situation with Birmingham. But,
yeah, it happened with Yeovil last year, didn't it? So it could happen. But I don't know whether they want to.
To be honest, though, Alan, I think that would make the Championship, so the FA Championship, the decision for the FA, that would, if Birmingham took a voluntary relegation, if you like, that could help the FA out because then they could promote 3 teams.
Yeah.
And the argument between Sheffield United and Durham, I think it is, they then don't have to argue about that and they just promote all 3 teams.
Yeah, it's all a bit.
It's all going to.
Yeah, isn't it? Really, ifs and buts.
I think, to be honest, Alan, I think the only winners out of this will probably be, well, if Liverpool don't go down, it'll be them. But if they don't go, well, if the league say they're going to go down, I think the only winners out of this situation will be the lawyers because there'll be so many. Yeah. I mean, if
have women's teams got the money to pay for lawyers? It's bad enough it is, isn't it?
Well, that's a good point, but I think it all depends if the Premier League clubs or the clubs that are backed by the big Premier League clubs like Liverpool are, if Liverpool men are prepared to give some money down to the women's to put a lawsuit in, I think that's where it could happen. But if it's just relying on Liverpool women's funds, then I don't think the WSL have anything to worry about.
And then what happens next season when, like, say Liverpool get relegated anyway? How does that make everything look? I think it draws a bit too much attention to the negative aspects of it all, really, to go into the lawsuit situation, really. I don't think it helps anyone, apart from the lawyers, obviously.
Well, I think the easiest thing for them to do was, like I said at the start, Alan, give Chelsea the title and don't relegate anyone and don't promote anyone.
Yeah. But again, the top 3 teams, someone's going to have the ache if they're not in the Champions League, aren't they?
Yeah. But to be honest, Alan, this is what does wind me up about this, the talk of Champions League. I am 90% confident the Champions League will not be going ahead next season because I don't think a lot of countries are going to be willing for teams to travel between the 2. I don't think it's going to happen.
That's a valid point. It's a very valid point. Yeah.
Because a lot of countries are just about, well, the prime ministers, so the one in the UK is just about now ready to let his own football in his country go ahead. So why is he going to let the UEFA, a team from Spain, come over here right now when he hasn't in August? When
I didn't think through it. Maybe it won't be a Champions League next season. But again, if there is, that would affect who signs and who doesn't sign, wouldn't it? Unless it's not the same as the men. But if someone wants Champions League football, and say Arsenal miss out because points per game or whatever, then they might have trouble. Not that I'm bothered whether Arsenal sign anyone anyway.
They're after Alicia Lehmann, apparently, Arsenal.
Really?
There's a room.
Was that and how did that whisper get about?
It was on. I think it was the BBC or Don't Take Me Word or one of them. I can't remember who it came from, but it was. I think it was on a Twitter page called Women's Football Transfer News.
Okay.
And what they do is, if there's a source from one outlet, they sort of put all the sources together onto one page to make it easier. And there was definitely something about Arsenal and Alicia Lehmann. Arsenal interested in Lehmann. Be interesting though.
It would be interesting. She's sort of like she's not. What's the right word? Taliswoman for the team, isn't she? I mean, she's most ever present. She got injured for a few games, but there's one thing: she gets kicked about every game, and she's probably got one of the best attendance records.
Mm.
I think,
to be honest, Alan, I said this to one of the fans I was messaging. I think we, as a team, we have to keep next season if we want to progress. Yeah. Leon, Lehmann, Thomas, and Courtney Brosnan. They'd be the 4 players I'd be absolutely adamant we keep.
I think you've got to put Kenza Darley in that mix.
Oh, and Kenza. How did I forget Kenza?
How can you forget Kenza Darley? Yeah. She's the brains. She's the total brains. So, she should be the first name on the team sheet.
I think we're going to struggle to keep hold of her, to be honest, Kenza.
Yeah, she put on her Instagram as making a go in the Champions League Cup final. I didn't even know, you don't hear about it, do you?
No, she's
a wonderful player. Wonderful player. Not that I'm increasing her chances of being Hammer of the Year.
I think with Kenza, though, I think somebody like Manchester United are 4th and just want to close that gap. A player like Kenza, player like Kenza in their midfield could really bolster their chances, because let's be honest, she's better than most players in our current team.
Yeah, she's a star, but I'd hate to see her go. And what I like about Kenza, not saying that none of the others do, but you can see how much she really, she takes defeat really badly, really, really badly, which is a real good sign. I'm not saying real too many times, am I? I usually say anyway too many times, but now it's in my head I'm saying really too many times.
Is there any players, while we're on the point, Alan, not to throw you under the bus, but is there any players you wouldn't want to keep next season for us?
Keep? For me, it's a funny. I'm not picking on anyone here, but because of my position and where I am, and I'm probably going to dig over for myself here.
Oh God!
Going against what you just said, I don't see any. Cool, blimey, how long is this? A bit of a build-up here. It's going to be an anti-climax.
Oh, did I get the drum roll out?
Oh yeah, I can't remember her name. Yeah, you said we need to keep her, but I don't see Adriana Leon. She doesn't seem to have the chemistry with the team. She seems to be an entity on her own. Only because I'm not, my hands are really big. Only because I've seen her in close quarters, and she's a wonderful player and all that, but she doesn't. I don't know. She doesn't integrate. It's perhaps I'm just getting the wrong impression. But have you ever seen her? Have you ever seen her outside of the football with someone the rest of the team?
Not really. I mean, I only ever see her after the matches signing autographs and stuff. But
it's not just. I just think that she has been in and out of the team, hasn't she? She's not.
Well, to be fair to her, that is mainly because Canada. So with Canada, you had the Olympics, and then I think 2 weeks later they was on another international break. So she was always on international duty when all of our other players wasn't.
Probably another reason to, The international wind me out. I don't know why they keep having these international tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. It decimates the rhythm of the league, really, doesn't it?
Well, I've said this before, Alan. I'd get rid of the Sheba leaves and just put league fixtures in that time bracket because
Yeah.
I mean I think there was, if I'm right, Alan, there was one time this season we just got back playing because of the FA Cup or something. So our team just got back and we beat Liverpool, and then 1 week later we was in a bloody Sheba Leagues Cup for England again, and you just think, well, where's our rhythm going to come from?
And then we had one of our players actually go to it and never. I don't think she got any minutes, did she?
No, she didn't. I mean, that's mainly because the managers are crap, but let's not get too much into that.
Yeah. I mean, there was a little point of her going, really, but yeah. So who do you think we could get rid of then? Turf outdoor.
Sorry, mate, you're breaking up.
Well, I've said my one. I can't think of any other. I've heard that Katharina bounce back ability. She might be on her way, but
I hope not. I think she's another one.
Superb. She's quiet. She's quiet and does the stuff. You know, can rely on her. Good free taker.
Not because of the player. I wouldn't be so disappointed, shall we say, if we lost. Mainly because we literally haven't seen her on the pitch at any moment. Is Little John. I mean, I think we saw her get for 10 minutes against Liverpool, and that was about it. So that would be the only player really that I'd not be too disappointed if we didn't keep.
I quite rated her. I thought she looked. I mean, she played for Ireland, didn't she? An international.
Mm. We haven't seen her enough on the pitch.
We haven't seen enough of her, I must admit. But she does seem like a tidy player when she does come on. But the thing is, do you get rid of any players? Because we've got a very small squad, you know, and there's no one really on the periphery on the edge. It's something like periphery or something, but it's on the edge that doesn't seem to get looking. I mean, last season we had a few, didn't we? That was mainly bench warmers, if that's not too an unkind word to use. Well, it's two words unless hyphenated, but this season everyone seems to be of first team credibility.
I think that's what makes it so hard, Alan. Like, if you would have asked me this question last season, I could put up about 4 names.
Yeah.
But this year, I don't think even the players on the bench, when they come on, they don't really make the team any worse, do they? It's the same ability in each position. So I think our transfer policy, shall we say, is if we lost somebody like Lehman to Arsenal, that would be the only reason we would bring somebody in next season.
Yeah.
I mean, the only player that I want to see in a West Ham shirt really is Chloe Kelly, because I think that would improve our team. But that's more on a fan looking in point. But like you said, there's not really anybody you'd get rid of.
With Arsenal, Man City and Chelsea, is that calibre of player a bit of a higher level than what we're playing in general? You know, that the rest of the league, do you think?
What, playing for who?
For those 3 teams.
Right.
Well, I know you mentioned Lehman, but is there anyone out in our team you think could get in those 3 teams?
Yeah. I think Martha Thomas could get in one of their teams.
Definitely.
So
again, Martha Thomas, though, is a bit she had a big injury break, didn't she, again?
So this is if you would have said the top 4,
yeah,
I think a lot of our players could walk into Manchester United's team.
Oh yeah, definitely. I didn't think much of them when I saw them, really.
But when you say top 3, it's even a question of, because they've got so many players in each position. not being disrespectful to our players, because they've got the ability to get into the team, but whether the manager of Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City would be willing to even have our players, a new player, on the bench, because they don't really need to come and look at West Ham's best players. They can go and look at a player at Lyon that's on the bench that will improve their team. So they'll be looking upwards rather than downwards at our league, I think.
Yeah. So it seems like a bit of a split. So like when you see the league, it's almost split into three, isn't it?
Yeah.
The top three. I suppose it's the same in any league, really, if you think about it.
Then saying that though, so I've just said Chelsea and Arsenal, Man City don't really need anybody from below, and it's more Manchester United. But looking at our situation, do we really want anybody from Liverpool or Bristol City? Is there any players that could improve our teams from there? No. I think the only player I'd take is probably Courtney Sweetman-Kirk to rival Martha, to get Martha to pretty much make sure Martha's on a game all the time, because if not, you've got Sweetman-Kirk coming on.
Yeah. It's a strange one, isn't it? I mean, when we beat Manchester United 3-2,
but they're not.
I was quite surprised that they weren't that good. They are. Obviously they're fourth and the table doesn't lie, but a lot of it is hype, isn't it? A lot of it is hype with that lot.
Yeah, I think.
I just paused to say hello, Natalie. How you doing?
I agree with you, though, Alan. I think if we was a bit more consistent, and if we didn't have that depth, we would have been right on their toes for full spot.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I fancied us to grab a 1-0 win against them away from home. I was quite vocal about that. I just don't rate Manchester United.
I remember the first time I actually went to Manchester to watch us in the Continental Cup against. I think it was Continental. Yeah.
Is that where you got stuck in traffic for hours? You was telling us on the way to Chelsea.
5 hours. 5 hours. 5 hours there, 5 hours back. To watch a 2-0 defeat. Although we played well, I think that was one. Brooke got sent off.
Yeah, we got robbed in that game. So I think Kate hit the post as well.
That's right. Yeah. It's I think Kate scored their first goal. Is it happens? I'm not sure. We scored an own goal.
Yeah, I think it was. Don't mention that though.
No, cut that bit out.
Yeah.
But what I did notice about it, because it's the first time we go Manchester United, and they was in the Championship. What was noticeable that when the players were warming up, and I did notice Matt and his assistant looking at the man, and I think what they were thinking was, how many players have they got? Because there seemed to be hundreds of them on the field, like before. Not actually when they started playing, but the warm up, it's a massive squad. Mind you, that's probably how they beat us. Probably about 15 players on the pitch. But no, it's so they've got that. But I think Manchester United will always just keep swapping their players about it season by season until they get the right mix.
To be honest, with Manchester United, I think for next season, for about 4 or 5 seasons, they're always going to be the team that nearly gets third, nearly breaks up the top 3. I don't think they'll ever do it for at least 3 to 4 years, because if there was one season where Manchester United did nick say Arsenal's place in third, all Arsenal would do would go, right, we'll just go and buy a few more players to boost our team, and we'll be there again next season.
But the other thing is that we, as we're looking towards next season and players and who we're going to have and who we haven't, that no one knows how long the contracts are, because we might have players out of contract.
I think, to be honest, Alan, I think we do. I think in about a few weeks there will be a few announcements about renewals of contracts and even players that have departed. Yeah,
I mean it's a tough one. I mean, if you want loyalty, buy a dog, really, don't you? But yeah, it'd be nice if they could keep the team together for another season, as you say, because it was looking good and we didn't really. Well, we got 2/3 of a season, didn't we?
Mhm. From what Matt said on the club website, on the article, it did seem like he does want to keep the players and just go again next season. I think a lot of teams will be like that.
Yeah, maybe right. Well, what's the next topic?
So let's go on to the next topic now. You've started to host the show, Alan. What do you think was the best?
I was getting dizzy how many circles was going around in there.
Best signing of the season.
Best signing of the season. Well, it's got to be for me, Ken Sadali. Because I've been watching women's football for a while now, and I know she probably thinks I'm sort of like stalking her or something. She has got charisma, skill, and that will to win, and hates losing. Everything you need in a player, she has got, and the focus, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant to watch, and she's really nice as well. That helps. As I say, I can't say she's my best mate or anything, but she does put up with me when I ask her a soppy question.
Mm.
And she came out after we played Lewis. It was freezing that night, and she came out afterwards just to say hello.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets my vote even just for that.
I think
football.
My player of the season will probably be Courtney Brosnan. Oh, sorry, signing of the season, Courtney. I think she's improved our team so much, and there's been games where, the first half against Brighton, I think it was, she kept us in that game for a solid 15 minutes, and she's been doing that. Against Manchester United, she was saving shots left, right, and centre. So I think we'd be in a much worse position if Courtney wasn't in goal this season. I just think she's improved our team so much and improved that position a lot. So yeah, I think it's got to be
unfortunate to be in goal against Chelsea, wasn't she? Because I think if we'd have had two goalkeepers, it still would have been the same score.
Yeah. Well, Ali thought she was more behind the goal there, so she thought my interpretation of what she said was she thought Courtney had a bad game. But I don't think so. I think she kept the score down. She could have been 16-0 if it wasn't for Courtney.
Yeah. It's a tough position to be in. If you're the goalkeeper in a heavy defeat,
you're always going to get blamed.
Been the man the player of the match, haven't they? Because there's so many shots raining in. She did make a few saves, didn't she, as well?
Mm.
That was just a weird game.
I think that's got to go down as our worst performance of the season, because sort of like we kicked off, we had the ball 1 minute, and next minute they scored.
Yeah.
And that was awful.
We couldn't. Anyway, let's not dwell on that. So you reckon then?
Not as bad as the music in your car that day, mate.
But yeah, well, it's your fault. Yeah, I like this. If you hadn't been so patronising, I would have turned it off. But well, you liked it. Funny that, wasn't it? No one had the guts to say, "What's this crap?"
But yeah, anyway, I would say Courtney is player of the season, best signing of the season, and now I've said it, player of the season.
When we signed Courtney, did we sign Courtney on the back of Martha, or did we sign Martha on the back of Courtney? So they both came from the same club.
I don't know. I think we announced Martha one day and then Courtney then a week or 2 days after.
Yeah. You never know, do you? But they've both done well considering You think Courtney above Martha Thomas then?
Yeah, probably. I think if Martha would have played more.
Yeah, she was a bit unfortunate, wasn't she?
She was injured a few times. I think she played a bit more. Yeah. Probably give it to Martha. But But yeah, I think Courtney, because she just kept us in a load of games, Alan. I mean, my hammer of the year going on to that will be Kate, because she's another one. If she wasn't in that midfield, breaking up the play at times, keeping the ball, passing it in the right areas, and when we was under pressure, when we would 1-0 up in games, again she saved us in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
So I think hammer of the season will be Kate first, and a close second, Courtney, personally.
Right. Okay. So have I got to say mine? Because I did.
Yeah, your hammer. Yeah.
Waffle out of this on the on Twitter, because I think it's a tough one, because everyone's had their moments, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's had their moments. I mean, there's with Kenza Darley.
Sort of like this waffle, and then you just go, well, then Kenza Darling.
For some reason, when I first spoke to her at the Chelsea Continental Cup.
Oh,
match,
here we go.
right? Yeah, I mean, we swapped, conversations and little.
I always should have said shirt. Double, bloody hell.
Yeah. And but she wasn't playing, and I joked. I was joking, but I don't think she heard it, or she didn't take it right. I said, no, I think she did take it as a joke. But I said, oh, you're not playing today. Have you been dropped? Right. But she said, and she's going, oh, no. There's too many matches, and she's been saved for the league. But I think the next game was the one at the London Stadium, and she didn't start there.
Yeah, I remember that. I was really questioning that at the time. I got into the stadium, and Kenza, I know it sounds weird, Alan, but like when you look at a team sheet, you sort of scroll down and you look for that name straight away. When I went into the London Stadium and the West Ham lineup was up, so I went all the way down and I couldn't see Kenza Darley. And I went over to the substitution, and she was about 3 players down, and I thought, well, what's that about?
It's a strange.
When she came on, we got better though. That game.
Definitely improved. Yeah, but perhaps she wasn't fully fit, or you don't know, do you? She might have been. It was a bit strange. In fact, she looked a little bit peeved before the match, but that might be my own, interpretation of the.
That was a weird day. I mean, you got in the stadium, you was all hyped, and then to play at the London Stadium, and then it sort of, I don't know what happened. I mean, we was all right for the first 25, 30 minutes, and Tottenham scored. Sort Yeah, I mean,
at least she came off, but she was, I don't know.
That's another one, I was shocked when Alicia came off, because she was getting some crosses in that box.
Yeah, it was just a weird day, wasn't it? But what was good about it was the crowd.
Yeah,
25,000.
Yeah,
I had a few children screaming at me. I filmed. I was filming myself, and then when I played it back, I could hear them, "Mr. Photographer," they wanted a photo taken. Anyway, so it was a strange day altogether, really, wasn't it? And then the traffic home, I couldn't believe it.
I don't know about the traffic, mate. I was on a train.
Oh right. Well, with the photography, like the stadium as it is, there's no parking for press. I had to park in Westfield. Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Yeah. And my poor old legs, time I got there, I was ready to keel over.
Oh, I get knackered walking bloody from Westfield to that stadium.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, that's another story altogether. But yeah, that was a bit of a strange one. So getting on to my plan of the season, was it? Have you done yours already? It's Kate, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the original conversation.
Yeah, right. And it's got down to me like having leg ache trying to walk to the stadium. How did we get there? Right. So I've sort of mentioned what I could say different players of the season for different matches. because no one. All right, Kate is.
Well, it don't work like that, but okay.
No, did you go to the Lewis game?
Yeah, I go to every home game, mate. Yeah.
Well, you haven't missed any. Like trying to catch you out, right?
No.
Right, the Lewis game. It was the Jacinta Galabarachi Chi She was fantastic. She was the best
Yeah.
player on the pitch by a mile. Not enough to make a player of the season,
Didn't
but
we have? Didn't Kenza score a penalty in that game?
yeah, she won
that one.
Yeah, Jacinta Galabarachi Chi. She won the penalty. Actually, I've got photographic evidence that it wasn't actually a penalty, but hey, too late now. And yeah, Darley scored the penalty. Martha Thomas, you could say, if she's fully fit, she would have walked it. Well, or run it. And I can remember at the beginning of the season, Alicia Lehman wasn't firing all cylinders.
I disagree with that. I remember that at the start of the season. She was just getting wrongly.
I don't think she was fully fit, in my opinion, because she was injured at the end of last season, I think, or the beginning of this season. And then the second half against Brighton away, all of a sudden, you're back. And she's been brilliant since. Who haven't I mentioned? I said on Twitter.
Sorry to interrupt. Going on to that point about Alicia Allen, what I think it was, and I said this at the start of the season when some people on Twitter were saying, well, Lehman isn't up to her standards last season. I think what it was where our team improved so much, you didn't notice her as much on the pitch because some of the players on the pitch were now the same quality as her.
Yeah, maybe.
And then as the fans got used to watching that team at the quality, you sort of saw what Alicia done more. But I think it was just the initial. Well, this is the standard. The standard got rose, and then Alicia eventually rose to that level, and she became one of the key players again. But I don't think she was having a bad start to the season. I think she was doing quite well. That Arsenal game, she did quite well.
Yeah, no, for me personally, I'm not saying she wasn't playing well, but the power and the threat of her only came started again in the second half against Brighton. It was so noticeable.
I think at the start as well, though, in saying that, I think at the start she was a bit worried about getting injured.
Yeah. She had a bit of a foot injury or something, didn't she? But another contender, pretty for not romantic or romantic. That's a good way of putting it in this. The romance of football is the Jude image, because you couldn't wish for a nicer person, come back from years off injury, keep smiling, keep everyone's spirits up, and then come back and play like a tiger. And I think she's sort of like been amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean,
that's another name that will probably be added to the must-keep list.
Yeah, I mean, she has some banging tackles, like really going in, not holding back or anything. No, and she's just a terrific ball player. Yeah, it's wonderful to see her back.
That game against Liverpool, when her, Leon, Lehman, and Thomas gelled, it was like watching. It was because we was on it.
Darley, stick Darley in that mix.
And Darley.
And Darley. Don't forget Darley.
And Darley. It was like watching a new team.
It was fantastic. And I think I spoke to Laura Fetterline afterwards, get it right. And
I watched you. I think you've interviewed her, didn't you, after the game or something?
Yeah, I interviewed her after the game, and she did say that they really put so much into it. After about 70 minutes, they was all a bit tiring, which is how it started going the other way, didn't it? A bit.
They scored 2 goals.
4-2, wasn't it?
Yeah, they scored 2 goals. I think what happened, their first goal came from a corner. I think Anna went to catch the ball and it slipped out of her hands and they headed it in. I think Furness headed it in.
Oh, that's right. She scored both, didn't she? I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think and 70 minutes was when Julia Simic went off because she still wasn't fully match fit. She was been up to, so she still has.
This all came at the wrong time for Julia, really, because she just got bad fit, and then this bloody thing came about.
So she was like 70 minutes, but I'm going to give it to Julia Simic. For the romance of football, coming back from a year off and doing it with a smile on her face and being rock solid and playing well. I think she set up Kenza Darley for our goal against Tottenham at the Beehive as well. I think she.
Beehive? Don't you mean the Hive?
Is it not the Beehive?
Yeah.
All right. But a hive is. Oh no, I suppose you have a hive. No, a hive is got bees in it. Yeah, so
yeah, it's called the Hive. They're called the Bees, and the stadium's called the Hive.
The Beehive. Oh, actually, I could have said the Bees Hive, and then you'd have been all right. Yeah. Anyway, we went to the Hive, and I think Julia Simic set up a good goal for Kenza. Yeah. Kenza Darley, I mentioned that.
If you got any highlights from this season that stick out in your mind, Alan?
Oh, I've got loads of highlights. Oh, what highlights? You caught me now. This wasn't one of the questions. See, if you, I've got to actually think about this now. Highlights, great moments.
We'll come back in about 20 minutes, then, mate.
Didn't Mark wave a big flag at the beginning of the London Stadium match?
Yeah.
He won it in a raffle or something, and he waved this big flag, and it looked like he was having a good time. That was a highlight. Every time I speak to the players, it's a highlight. I
thought you were going to say speaking to me. Then I was going to be, celebrating.
Well, I actually had to cut you out of one of my vlogs because went on a bit. What's your highlight? And as you was talking, I won't listen, and I'll think about my highlight. What are your highlights?
My main highlight of the season will probably be the win against Liverpool. I think that was a great win. That would probably be in third place. Second place would probably be Julia Simic's return, seeing her get back onto the pitch. Just like as you said, Alan, knowing everything Julia went through. It was great to see her return in a West Ham shirt. The main highlight, just because of the crap some of their fans put up on Twitter about how they were going to beat us, how Jane Ross was going to score the winner, and she was going to celebrate in front of all us. And when we beat them, I just thought, thank God for that. It was just such a relief that we beat them. So yeah, Manchester United win at home. It was also the performance, because that's another game where you looked at our team and you thought, this is how good we could be if we perform to these levels every week.
Yeah, what I can remember, I can only remember matches through, because I'm taking the photos. It's I'm looking at a different.
This is why you don't work when you come to support your team, mate.
This is a lot of the time I'm in discomfort, if I'm honest, right? And the Man United game, it was freezing cold, and it was getting to, and I don't know why they keep kicking off late, because by the time it gets second half, it's pitch black. I'm struggling, and if I start using a flashbulb, people start moaning. And but in saying that, I can remember vividly. Right, I can remember vividly.
You said that once, mate.
Oh, vivid. I'm trying to sort of accentuate how vivid this was. Is that I was sitting there and they scored their second goal, Man United, and you thought, no. And then I phoned the missus and said, I've just scored, I'm freezing cold, I feel like packing up and coming home, honestly. And you couldn't see us doing anything, could you? And all of a sudden, in the space of minutes, we turned it into a famous victory, Yeah. It was fantastic. Kate Longhouse with her celebration. It was just amazing. Although, again, Mary Earps in goal? She flapped at that. Like she was trying to catch a wet bar of soap, didn't she?
Well,
Terrible.
I was so shocked when Neville announced the England team for the She Believes. I was so shocked that some of their fans were genuinely upset that Mary wasn't in the team, because me and you said that when we were speaking to Rich, we both really don't rate Mary Earps as a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, that game, to be honest, before I saw her in person, because you never know a player how they play really until you see them in person. And so I was just watching a few games when Man United was playing on Saturday, and I thought, well, she struggled with her kicking, like Mary Earps, and that's why I didn't rate her. And then when we went to the rush screen, I deliberately watched when she got the ball more than anybody else, because I wanted to see what a kicking game was like in the eye. And it was awful again. I mean, she just can't kick at all.
Yeah, but I will say, I know it's all the rivalry and all that, but at the Man United match, I did speak to some of their supporters before the Barmy Army, although there weren't as many as I thought there were. But the people I spoke to were really nice. They were really nice. And I've got some good footage, which always makes it good for me. And then at the end, I spoke to Natalie, and she was obviously gutted and everything, but she was.
Doesn't help that you got you as a wind-up merchant, mate.
I did ask her what's it like to lose to West Ham. I think I asked her twice actually. Out of all the questions, I only asked her that one twice. But no, they all seem like really nice people, you know. And I think they get a lot of stick because of how they're perceived. But
it's the way they act on Twitter, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's probably why everyone thinks I'm an idiot.
I wasn't going to say that, mate, but as you said.
But getting back to my, now I've thought about the highlight. I have sort of touched on this, but my highlight was probably is when we played Lewis, and I was standing there talking to one of their supporters, Lewis supporter, Jane, and Matt Beard come out and said, "Thanks for coming." He came back out and said to me, and I was so and me, I couldn't think of what to say, so I didn't say anything.
You know what? Actually, while you've reminded me, Matt has been. I want to say thank you to Matt, because when he found out like Dad passed away on Twitter, when I put it out on my social media, he texted me, and then he actually, I think a few days later, I put something out saying I was like really missing Dad and stuff, and he said, "Look, if you need me, here's my contact number. Just call me."
Really nice.
That's really nice.
Yeah, as I say, it's a pure gent. It's got pure gent, and so he came out and said, "Oh, thanks for coming." I was lost for words really, because I thought, oh, you know, look, I felt like saying, "Look, I'm having a chat with this lady." Yeah, no, and then Ken Zadali came. I don't mention that, but Ken Zadali came out and said the same thing. And it was freezing cold. They'd just played a match, and they came out and made the effort. And I thought that was really nice. That's probably one of my. But the highlight for me is actually having a laugh with the players. If I'm honest, you know, because they are a great bunch. Some of them I've spoken to. I've never spoken to Kate really.
That's what makes our match day experience much better as well, Alan. Because after the game, I mean, Kate is one that normally comes over to like the group of fans I sit with and stuff after the game. She always just speaks through the game, speaks like how she felt certain moments of the games went and stuff.
Right.
And if we lose, she sort of says, "Well, sorry for that" and stuff. And just speaks to us when she doesn't. They don't have. They don't. Yeah, they don't have to speak to you.
I think a lot of credit has to go to like Matt for signing people, or maybe, you know, instilling this, because it's easy to be aloof, isn't it? I suppose, you know. No, I think that is a highlight. This is what you don't get at men's football as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, most of the men's players think they don't have to because they're too big to speak to the fans. Let's be honest.
Yeah. No. And yeah, there's a few players past and present that I've got a lot of time for. Anyway, so what's the next subject? Did I say? Yeah, Julie Simic. Julie Simic, player of the season. I forgot myself.
Right, just to add this another topic, shall we say? Is are you looking forward to next season? And then, is there anybody you would in the transfer market you would add to our team to improve it for next year?
Oh, I've not been. See, I know a lot about our team, but I'm really not a follower of other players. And I mean, when I spend a lot of time in Spain.
Megan Walsh, probably, you'd say. Megan Walsh would be a guy you like.
Yeah, it was a goalie, but we have got two good goalies now, so I don't think we're looking for a goalie really. Maybe another fullback. What's our fullback situation?
I think our fullbacks are quite good. I mean, you have Cavani and Bunach.
Yeah.
Quite good.
Have we got any cover for
Olivia Smith at left back?
Oh yeah, we haven't seen her yet, have we?
No, and who's the other one?
I actually did see her. She was sitting in your stand, is it? But I couldn't judge anything by it. Apart from she eats popcorn a bit too fast for my liking.
Oh, and another like cover we have at fullback is Vetterline can play there as well, can't she?
Like an F. Fetterline. Fetterline. I've been corrected by the lady herself.
Right.
Fetterline. Yeah, she's good cover anywhere. Apparently, she's like the best juggler of the ball in the team.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you learn something every day on this podcast.
Seems like Matt Beard's gone straight for the juggler.
That is a really bad pun, by the way, mate.
Really, I've been waiting for 15 years to correct that one.
Yeah.
So, players, I don't really, there's Deborah Garcia, plays for, I think she was playing for Atletico Madrid last time, but she's quite good. But no Spanish, would any Spanish player come over here? Because when I did the photography in Spain, you go there November, December, and you go there for an evening match and the sun's still out. It's about 80 degrees. It's lovely. It's beautiful. And then they come over here and freeze to death. So I don't think we'd get any Spanish players.
Nah, I think from teams like Atletico Madrid and Barcelona and CD Tacon, who are going to be Real Madrid next year, you won't get any players from them. Maybe from like teams in Spain at the bottom that are like they're basically too good for that team and want to step up. We'd attract them. I'm not too sure on Spain.
Of all the matches I've seen, there's no one who I've looked at and thought, I wish we had them in our team. I never think that. I don't think.
I think Chloe Kelly from Everton is the only player.
Arsenal and Chelsea or something.
Chloe Kelly, I think.
Yeah, Kelly's good.
Babajide from Liverpool, she'd improve our team.
Was she a forward, wasn't she?
Yeah, forward. Really pacey forward.
Yeah, but who would you take the place of?
You just have her on the bench, so if you need a plan B.
And so I think we've got a good squad. Although maybe
again, this is one thing I've just thought of. I'll be interested to see if we can keep both Anna and Courtney, because I think if, say for example, Reading came about and they lost one of their two keepers and they said, we can guarantee you a number one spot here, then I think we'd lose one of them.
Yeah, maybe. Because is that why Becky Spencer went last year? Do you think?
I don't know. I think that was mainly because Matt didn't see her as part of the team in the future, maybe.
Yeah,
That
because
time.
I didn't realise she'd won the FA Cup with. She won it with Chelsea. Chelsea.
I don't know what it was last season though, because with like Becky, she had like some really, really, really good games,
Yeah,
and then Anna would play next, and then they'd get a run into. They kept on rotating all the time. So I think Becky left either because there wasn't a future in the team for her, or she just wanted a number one spot.
yeah.
I think it was more the number one spot, to be honest. Now thinking about it.
Well, she has now, isn't she? So
Yeah. Well, I think she plays every game for Tottenham, except from cup matches.
yeah. Then she got it at the Hive without the B. I think she'd come off injured at half time, and the sub keeper came on, but she wasn't half as good as Becky, I don't think.
That'd be one player I think would improve our team. Hannah Godfrey at Tottenham at centre back should be quite good. Then again, would she get in the starting team? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, they got. I'm not much as I know about it. I banked on Tottenham to go down. Probably wishful thinking, really, but they've been really good, haven't they?
Yeah.
Tough outfit there. I don't know if it's down to the management or the quality of players they've got, but I was quite surprised by them. They're nuts, great. Especially they got like Kit Graham, who I used to when I was doing the West Ham ladies.
You used to play for Charlton.
Yeah, back in the if you like third division, Kit Graham was playing then. So she stepped up to the Prem or Super League, and same as Ashley
Neville.
Yeah, the fullback Ashley Neville. I'd love to see her there because she's so dedicated.
I think she might. I think Man United might get her personally.
Yeah, she travels down from Coventry.
Yeah.
To play, and train.
Really?
Yeah. I got that from the horse's mouth. That means her, not a horse.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
No, she still lives in Coventry, and because she used to play for Coventry for years.
What? So she travels down there every day to train?
Well, every time they train, she travels down. But if it's every day, maybe she'd stay. I didn't go into logistics of it. It's just that she still lives in Coventry.
Yeah, I think if you would have went into the logistics, you would have got a bit worried, mate.
I just legged it or something. But no, she was fine. That was after the London Stadium. So it'd be nice to see her. She's proper strong, proper strong, powerful player, and she's a fullback as well. I think we need either not strengthening, but maybe a bit in reserve at fullback. Because if we lost both of them to injury, we'd be in trouble, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What was the best fullback performance? This is what I remember. The best
match against Manchester United.
Nah. Brooke Hendricks against Arsenal, was it?
Yeah, that's a shot, actually.
That was that was like, that was unbelievable.
I'd still say Boonach against Manchester United, though. She did score 2 goals.
Goals, all right. She scored a couple of goals, I suppose. Give it to her. And she's still playing for us. Don't want to upset anyone.
2 free kicks as well.
Yeah, 2 free kicks. So proper good. Well, the second one was
That was one of them games that going back to it, Alan. That Man United game was one of them games where it would take a piece of magic for us to get back into that game and win it. And she provided 2 pieces of magic to win that game of football.
What else was nice about the Man United game? That followed that horrific 3-2 defeat at home to Reading. That was completely, bizarre, wasn't it? We've gone 2-0 up. They had the players sent off, and then somehow we construed to lose it.
I can't remember most of that Reading, like the end of the Reading game, because it just went all like so quick.
Yeah, it's just. And to be fair, I think the 10 Reading players could have scored a few more. If
I forget they had 10 players.
Yeah, it was an incredible match. Incredible.
Is that the game where somebody either strangled Cavani or
they pushed her
on the deck?
Pushed her.
Yeah.
But didn't Leanne get sent off against Man United? because she must have done.
That
Because,
ref was useless that game,
yeah.
though.
I've got a few pictures of her having a bit of a scuffle with the players in the penalty area, and I think she'd already been booked, and all of a sudden she tried to get away from the situation. I think she got a second yellow card, if I remember rightly. But I can remember her watching the free kick before going down the tunnel. I know there ain't a tunnel, but before going out the gate, and she stood there watching the free kick. So she must have had a good view of Kate doing I don't know what she did.
Right, last question, mate, because we've been waffling for about an hour. But is there any players that have been a surprise package this year for you? So somebody that you didn't expect to be as good as they have been?
Like a young player of the year that.
No, any player. Just a player that you feel risen their level.
Was a surprise. I mean, you couldn't have wished for better. I mean, the goal she scored again. I mean, I did get I could do a flick book of this one. I got some nice pictures of a second goal against Liverpool, where she did a Cruyff turn and then
I remember that.
It right in the corner. It's just unbelievable to get a player of that standard. And when she scored both goals when we drew with Tottenham. You remember we drew?
No, Kenza Darley scored a free kick, didn't she?
Sorry, Kenza. Don't forget about that.
That was one of the best assists.
Another Kenza Darley moment, right? That's one of my. I wasn't at the match.
How can you forget that free kick against Tottenham? She bended it right into the top corner.
Yeah, I know. But sorry about that, Kenza. No, again, how would our season have been different if that shot she had in the last minute against Arsenal in the first game had gone in? I mean, it was a good save.
Who are we on about, Kenza? The free kick.
Oh yeah, the
rattled against the bar, didn't it?
Yeah, the goalie did save it. Yeah, from I think she was about 2 foot away by the time.
I think it was already 2-1, wasn't it, at that point?
Yeah, it was 2-1. Yeah, we were 2-0 down, I think.
We got Martha scored, and then that free kick and it rattled against the bar.
Yeah. If that had gone in, I reckon the whole season would have been completely. Well, it still would have ended early, I suppose. It would have cured coronavirus, would it? But I think we would have. I don't know. We'd have kicked on from that.
Excelled. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we.
Now thinking about that moment, I think if we would have drew against Arsenal, that would have been one of the moments where the league stop and look at us and go, hold on, they could be onto something this year.
Yeah.
We were so unlucky to lose that game. It took 2 pieces of magic for Arsenal to beat us. And Beth Mead, that first goal she scored, one of the best goals I've seen live, I think.
Yeah. She did us the season before with the terrific head.
To be honest, Adam, like, Arsenal ain't one of my favourite teams, but I always enjoy watching them. Yeah,
they're good, nice team to watch. I've been over the what's the ground called? King's Meadow, isn't it? No, that's Chelsea.
Chelsea's is
Boreham Wood.
The Meadow, I think. No, it's not the Meadow. Boreham Wood, that's it.
Yeah, I've been over there a few times, and they get good support, and it's good atmosphere there. Surprise package, another surprise, but I must give Jacinta Galaparachi a mention because she is abundance of skill. Oh, you got visitors.
Oh, hold on. Stop coming in and interrupting the fucking video.
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
It's one of the people I do the podcast with.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah, come on, piss off. Go on.
That's no way to speak to your mum, is it?
It's my sister.
Oh, it's your sister. Oh, she does that. Tell her it was. Tell her I was breaking up.
I've got that recorded as well, mate.
Oh well, I managed to lose friends everywhere. Oh yeah. Anyway, Jacinta Galaparachi, she's got so much skill, and it'd be really nice if she could get a like a long run in the team. I think with her low centre of gravity, makes her one of them Tevis players, you know. Yeah, low centre of gravity. Honestly, it helped because she can turn people inside out. It's brilliant.
Welcome to the Avid Science program.
No, she has got a low centre of gravity. I think it's low centre of gravity. You're making me doubt myself now.
Nearly said gravy then.
But her head's near the floor anyway. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think she needs to make more space for herself. If she can make more space for herself, I don't know, tell a few people to go stand back a bit. I reckon she could be the sensation of next year.
Yeah, I think so.
I think she will. If she can get a run in the team.
Right, let's finish off on my surprise package of the season.
Right.
It'll probably be I'm trying to think now. Probably be Courtney, because I didn't expect her to be that good in goal, to be honest. She is. I think she'll break through into one of the top teams one day.
She'll break through in what?
To one of the top teams. I think she'll be playing for them soon.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, but if we're any good next season, we'll be a top team.
Oh, yeah, fair enough, yeah. When we win the league, yeah.
No, it'll be. I'll tell you what else is, because of this coronavirus, I was talking to, I'm not trying to name drop here, but I always say, talking to here, and I'm taking a photograph and having a chat with him and all that. But just to give you an insight, to the film crew that are doing Britain's youngest football manager, and boss. All right, boss. All right. And I spoke to him and I said, "Oh, when's it coming out?" And she said, "Oh, it'll be out in July, and it's instead of focusing on Jack, it's and that because of what happened. They can't really top last season, can they? So what they're going to do is focus on the players more and having little cameos and all that. So that'd be quite interesting. But now it's all been cut short. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they'll just put something out and just have it at the end explain that the season got stopped.
They ain't interviewed me. I mean, I've been there the longest. Other things I could tell them where the bodies are buried and everything.
So we've turned it into a science program. We're now talking about bodies being buried. What's next?
No, so, yeah. Anyways, yeah. So that's my view of it, and so I'll speak to you next season then. Unless I could conjure something up out of nothing. I don't know.
Okay then, yeah, that's the end of the show. Thanks for everybody.
Well, I'm sorry. I was going to say thanks for having me on, Reece.
That's all right, mate. Yeah, thanks for everybody for watching us this season. Thanks for coming on, Alan.
You sounded like you really meant that. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, all right. You was head-focused. Yeah. Right.
Anyway, get back to what I was saying. Thanks for everybody for watching us this season. Thanks, Alan, for coming on.
This is just only, isn't it?
Hmm?
Is this a sound only thing? It's a podcast, isn't it?
No. This one's going to be going out in video format.
So,
anyway, can I finally get to the point where I end the show now?
Yeah. You teased me. Oh no, yeah.
Thanks for watching us for this season. Thanks everybody who's joined us as a guest on the show, and thanks to American Hammers for letting us broadcast on their YouTube channel. Sorry, Ali couldn't join in to the end of the season, but she's a bit busy right now. So hopefully she'll be back for the start of the season, and we'll see you next year on what hopefully will be a successful season for the West Ham Bombers team. Bye, guys.
And I was touching my nose all the way through it.